Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from the Challenge Championship and the Collins Cup. We're brought to you by Master Spas, Hyperice, Form, Smart Swim Goggles, UCAN, HOKA, One, Clash USA, and of course our Challenged Athletes Foundation. Our next guest will be racing on the European, probably the toughest team out there, the European team in the Collins Cup. Holly Lawrence joins us. Holly, how are you?
Yeah, doing good, thanks, Bob.
So when you look through the list, it's hard to pick somebody else besides a European.
Yeah,
what are you thinking?
You wouldn't bet against this team, and I think we all came into this race like pretty confident that it was going to be like a clean sweep. But then when you kind of see how it's like matched up, and it'll be a lot more exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, come to the red, because the head-to-heads are just made to be the most exciting races.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you are racing Ellie Salthouse and Skye Moench, and obviously you've raced those folks before.
Mm-hmm.
I heard there's some sparks between you and Ellie. What's going on?
Yeah, so Ellie actually put it out there that she wanted to race me, which I only saw just a couple of days ago, and I realized why in Nice in 2019 for World Champs. You know how we all came out together on the bike.
Yep.
And like early on, it was like a lot of drama going on. And we were like all really like perfect spacing just on those roundabouts before we took the climb up. So it's like really, really key area. And she cut in, which is illegal. And, you know, whatever, like a minute later, she pulled up with a mechanical. And I yelled at her and said some not very nice words. I didn't realize. I mean, I said, "That's karma," and called her something. Which, you know, in the heat of the moment,
that's
I don't
what's
sound
racing,
like,
right?
but like, you know, it was a throwaway comment, and you know, I didn't think much of it. But obviously, like, I didn't realize it ended her day.
And she'd been
obviously
in these for 6 weeks.
And
It was a race of the year.
And that was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So she's held on to that for a while and it's got under her skin. So yeah, obviously she wanted to race me. So when that came out, I was like, oh yeah, for sure we'll be racing each other. So yeah, bring it on. There'll be no words exchanged. Hopefully, you know, we'll be playing by the rules. So
yes. Rivalries are good.
Yeah. I mean, there's no animosity my side at all. Like, you know, so.
Just
looking forward to race. Yeah.
So you've had, speaking of rivalries, Emma Pellant-Brown has been on fire, and you guys have had some back and forth. I think you get her in Des Moines, and she got you in Alcatraz.
Yeah. In Des Moines, actually, she was like putting time into me on the run, and then she must have cracked, and then the time was going up again. So, then we raced each other just at Alcatraz. The week before this, and she dominated that run, and I was like kind of got a bit complacent, and I was like, how much time could she really put on me? And I looked behind on that sand ladder, and she was right there. And I was like, all right, yeah.
Well, she said, I think you went back by her.
Yeah, so I tried. So, and she's like, she was a cross country runner. Like, it's her jam.
She was Olympic
I witnessed
caliber.
it as she, like, you know, but my stair game was better than hers. So I like repassed her on the downhill stairs. I was taking every like 2 or 3.
Ooh,
I know,
that's pretty
right?
gutsy.
I mean, I had to at that point. And she was like little steps every one. And then I was like, okay, I'll just sit on her. It'll be a sprint. And I looked down at my watch, and we were running like 5-minute 15 pace.
Yeah.
Which was like hell of a fast on trail too. And that's when I was like, pop. And it was so funny because like it's like still like 1.5 miles to the finish.
Oh yeah.
And everyone's like, you've got her, she's right there. And I'm like, I don't.
No. She had me. She got me, and it's over.
Yeah.
They think you're catching her, and she's pulled away.
Yeah.
But that's fun. That race is so special.
Oh,
And you've won there.
Yeah, I did back in 16.
Well, 16 was also the world champs too, right?
Yeah, and it was closer to when I was like doing short course stuff.
Right.
So I think I was a little bit more, you know, familiar with the like lactic kind of burns.
High intensity, exactly.
Yeah.
And what was cool about that course though is just you sort of forget that you're
Oh.
getting dropped off on a boat. It's not like you go, oh, I'll swim buoy to buoy. And
Oh
no,
my God,
you're
you have
out there.
no idea where you're going because like the fog rolls into San Francisco.
Yeah.
So you're on the boat and you have no, like you can't see where you're going to swim yet.
Right.
And there is no like buoys. You're just like sliding
Nothing.
off buildings. And you don't even get that vantage point till you're in the middle of the swim on race day. So like, it's kind of, you're just like, I hope to God I'm going to the right place.
Yeah, it's one of those things that even as a pro, you're pretty happy when you get to a place you can stand
up. Oh
up.
my God, it is like an adventure race. You're like, whew, okay, made it.
Yeah. And
Take
then,
off that, now the bike.
Yeah, bike, it's a short bike, but it's like straight up, straight down, turns, this, that.
And like bumpy.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like, it's like an adventure race,
It
which is
totally
like
is.
such
Which
a
is fun.
thrill for, I mean, it's so different to what we do, so.
Well, and that's sort of brings you back to New York, Chicago,
Yeah.
all those races had so much character, so unique, right?
Yeah, so it's nice to pickle that in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with, is there a matchup besides your own that you're looking at from the women's and men's that you like? That's going to be pretty fun to watch?
Yeah, I think they'll all be interesting. One I'm really looking forward to, just because I haven't personally seen her races.
Taylor Knibb?
Well, Taylor, but she's on a road bike.
Yes.
I mean, she would have to be... I mean, it would put all of us girls to shame if she does dominate on a road bike. So I think if she... I mean, I wish she was on a time trial bike.
Yes.
Even if it was...
Yeah.
She wasn't used to it. I kind of wish that, someone out there can just give her a time trial bike for the day.
You know what's so funny is Katie got on one just the other
I know,
day.
yeah.
But,
But you saw her in Island House.
Yes.
She was fine on the time trial bike
Right,
then. So.
yeah.
And that was way more technical.
Oh,
and
yeah. But you can get by on a time trial bike there.
Yeah.
But it's,
Power's power, though.
Yeah. But it's funny because Emma was saying when they were in Boulder doing the 70.3, and they're like, she's on a road bike. We don't have to worry about her. And she took off and was gone. You didn't catch her till 6 miles in a run.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the one I look at,
Yeah.
I like Sebastian Kienle, Lionel Sanders, Andrew Starkowitz. I mean, that's just like Starkey has to swim his brains out, and then these guys will.
I mean, the race will be between Lionel and
right,
Sebastian.
but it's just when they catch Starkey.
And I really want to see Teresa Adams.
Yes.
Race because she got so high in the rankings, and there was there's a lot of
in Australia, yeah,
controversy about that,
or New Zealand,
that she was kind of ahead of Daniela at some point.
Yes.
So now you're like, well, of course, great, they can race each other.
That way you'll find out.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. And I think from the U.S. side, putting Taylor and Katie on there with the three moms is a good thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So what's the rest of the season after this?
Yeah, so St. George is rolling around pretty darn quickly
Yes.
now. Yeah, so...
Boy, the
it's
St.
like
George
3
field
weeks
is
ago.
going to be...
Stacked.
Totally.
Yeah.
And you'll have another shot. Well, you have another shot at Daniela.
Yeah. And, I was going to continue racing after that, but, I'll see. It's, still been a funny year, so, mentally, it's, good to have a little, break and...
Well, but you were talking beforehand that this was going to be an Ironman year, so just jump in and do an Ironman. What the hell?
Right, now it's in February. Are they going to
Boom.
push back the qualifications?
They might have to.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see.
What the hell? Or maybe you just jump into, the California one that's in the end of October.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, that's
go full with
local.
it. You can just drive up there.
Oh, no, that's just a men's race.
Is it just a men's? There's no money for women?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Just
bummer.
a men's race, yeah.
Oh, so you can't go there. What the hell?
No.
Yeah. And so knowing that you were thinking about doing Ironman this year, is that something for next year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the pull to Ironman is getting stronger.
Yeah.
So I want to be in Kona, and doing an Ironman is the road there. So
Yes. Yeah.
Eventually,
Well, and that's really, in terms of everything else you've accomplished, that's what's left.
Yeah.
Right? You've won 70.3 worlds. You've won at all different distances.
And if you go to Kona, you just realize how much of a big deal it is to so many people.
Yes.
So.
Well, and it's almost like starting a new career, and we've seen that over and over again. From Jan to Daniela, and people come over and never really thought they would be going and doing an Ironman. Next thing you know, they realize they're good at it. Is this something become more of an acquired taste as you've been training over the years, thinking, gosh, maybe going longer wouldn't be that bad? Because I'm sure when you stepped up from You know, so Olympic to 70.3, that felt ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember the first time I did a 70.3, I said I never can do that again. I never want to do that again. And like, it still feels so long to me. So like,
but
double
it won't be a problem. Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious. And I think, well, you know, I don't have to do a ton of them. I think even when I do Ironman, I still like primarily do 70.3s.
Yes.
And kind of then periodize getting into Ironman.
Just doing the one that gets you in.
Yeah, because I feel if you do too many, like, especially like me, I'm not one of those that can run on a treadmill against a brick wall for like 3 hours, which some people can.
I know.
But like, that's not me. I'm like very social. Like even when I train with other people. So, yeah. So
this race, the Collins Cup, it's a little piece of history, right? This is when you look at the lowest time, there was a lot of pros and a lot of race directors were going out of business. A lot of pros were going, can I stay in the sport? And then PTO stepped up and really sort of saved the day. And this Collins Cup is something they've been talking about for 5 years, and now it's going to happen.
It's been a long time in the works, and we were always, you know, for the last few years, and even this year, we're still like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? And then, you know, and kudos to them for making it happen, even though, you know, this climate has not been great for anybody, and especially like it's, you know, they've just delivered. So
they've done such a good job. And it's funny because at the lowest possible time, they come out with a, you know, over $1 million prize purse in Daytona, good money, and obviously great money for finishing, for where your rankings are at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's been really good stuff.
Yeah.
And you've been training in LA for how long now? Forever.
5 years.
5
maybe
years.
More, yeah.
I mean, a lot of people would look at it and go, God, how do you train in LA? And I don't think people realize how much great cycling there is there.
Yeah. Like,
you go to the mountains and you're golden.
Straight out to the mountains.
Yeah.
Like from where I am, like I don't drive to ride. I'm like, you can be climbing in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's just so many climbs that like, even like Geraint Thomas and Chris Froome come out to LA to train in the winter.
Cam Worth is out there,
the riding's insane, and like it's a lifestyle thing too. It's like, it's great. Like it's not downtown LA. Like I'm nowhere near there. So
and it's funny because a lot of people feel you need to be at altitude to be able to. Do you do training blocks where you go to altitude? Or
I've never done altitude.
You never?
Never. I mean, it's something that I want to do at some point, but when the like setup's right and it makes sense.
Yeah, because like you said, you're social, so you'd rather be.
Yeah, like I would need to like the right group, people to swim with, people to bike with, people to run with. So,
So how do you see this playing out with you and
Ellie and Skye?
Yeah, Ellie and Skye. How do you see? You should be first out of the water with the three of them?
Yeah, hopefully. I think Ellie will stick on my feet.
Yes.
And obviously for Collins Cup, we have a 20-meter draft rule.
Right. Which is good for you.
Which we should make sure that Ellie knows it's a 20-meter draft rule, because she obviously...
she likes to cut in a little bit.
Yeah, she obviously just needs to make sure she knows the rules. So yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, we're quite evenly matched. Like it's a very like even matchup. So I think it'll be an exciting race.
And Skye's been racing well too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she beat me in St. George. I didn't have a great day. I had some issues in the swim, and really wanted to pull it. And then we were kind of like battling on the run. So yeah, I never am out of the swim far back to see Skye race, because she's normally a little bit back on the swim, but she's
what happened in the swim?
I had an asthma attack.
I was going to say a little panic attack.
Yeah. I've just had
was it the combination of altitude, wetsuit, and cold water?
Yeah, I mean, I've been having some weird allergy stuff, which plays with asthma, and I got stung by a bee a couple months ago and had an asthma attack the next day. Wow. And my whole body swelled up. So there's just some weird allergy things going on. Hopefully it's under control right now. So
so obviously the way you've been racing lately, you're there. Have a great one on Saturday, and being part of the first Collins Cup, and you guys pretty confident you'll be bringing this thing home?
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I don't want to say 100%, but yeah, I think we're in it to win it. Yeah.
Love it. Holly Lawrence has been our guest. Again, Breakfast with Bob from the Challenge Championship and, of course, the Collins Cup. Thank you, Holly. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.